What's good, ladies and gentlemen? We have another reaction video, and of course, it is a death battle. A new one, actually. One we have not gotten yet. And as you can see from the title, and you can see from the thumbnail, and as you can see on the screen right now as you're watching this, we have Ichigo versus Yusuke. Bleach versus Yu Yu Hakusho death battle. Now, this is a classic. These are classic anime characters. There's just, if you are an anime watcher, right? There's just no way you don't know Ichigo from the big three and Yusuke. Like, they're just, it's just OG animes. Like, there's just no way you don't know. Now, for them people who just started watching anime, you probably started watching something like, you start watching like Demon Slayer, Solo Leveling, you know what I'm saying? Like, My Hero. Like, you know, you never seen like the OG animes. Now, some people have started off with Dragon Ball, which is obviously, in my personal opinion, the right anime to start off with. Because, I mean, when you talk about anime, I mean, you could say Sailor Moon, yeah. I mean, that happened. Sailor Moon happened before Dragon Ball, and really that's kind of where it started. So, yeah, but let's be realistic. People want to see, they want to see, like, that monkey Goku. So, anyway, point is, Ichigo, Yusuke. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I need to catch up with Bleach. I need to catch up. I think I started on the recent or current season we're on now, either that one or before. And I it's like, what is it? It's like season, I forgot what season it is, but what Hachiat, or how you say his name? Yeah, I started like that season with them. I need to finish. And with Yusuke from Yu Yu, I haven't watched it in a while. I know about it, obviously. I mean, when you see him, you just know Yusuke is him. But I haven't seen it in a hot minute, so I'm really glad to see this death battle and see them, you know, refresh my memory on him. But off rip, I'm gonna just say this off rip, okay? Don't hate me. I think Ichigo's gonna win. I'm just saying. But hey, I'm gonna stop yapping. I know y'all looking at the screen pissed off. Let's go ahead and get into this reaction. Oh, that's a W.
Ichigo Kurosaki.
Yo.
Yusuke Urameshi.
The substitute Shinigami of Bleach versus the spirit detective of Yu Yu Hakusho. He's with
Spirit detector, okay, yep.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out.
Oh my god, boy got Kaioken. Tell you, I haven't watched it in a while. It's been a hot minute since I watched it, seriously.
What happens when we die?
Endless nothingness? Jeez, man, I don't know. We just started.
Our souls are ferried by Shinigami, gods of death, in an eternal cycle of death and rebirth.
That was my second guess.
And when a soul goes astray, warped by evil and regret, it's a Shinigami's job to purify such violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead. The Soul Society.
Works great, till it doesn't. Enter Ichigo Kurosaki, whose tragic anime backstory came way too early when his mom was killed by a hollow.
Oh, he's 5'11"?
Reason number one why you should never want your kid to be the anime protagonist.
Left with his grief, young Ichigo was crushed under the
Orihime.
weight of survivor's guilt.
Strawberry.
He lashed out the only way he knew how, beating people up.
But this wound began to heal when he found his calling, upon meeting a Shinigami named Rukia. To stop a powerful hollow, she gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential within.
Boom! Just like that, Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute Shinigami. To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called Reishi. He can wield vast amounts of spiritual energy called Ryoku and exert it offensively in the form of spiritual pressure, or Reiatsu.
Okay, that's a lot of big words, but all it really means is he's a super-powered ghost.
It's a lot of
with an
words.
epic sword. His spirit aura is so strong, he can stun lock foes, crushing them under his own power, even fatally.
He controls spirit matter in and around him, hardening his skin for defense and leaping off of invisible footholds in the air. Paired with speed-boosting skills like Shunpo, he can virtually fly.
Yeah, this is basically stuff I already know. Like I say, I watch Bleach.
And hello to the town's new superhero, with fellow Ghostbusters, Orihime, Chad, and Uryu. Plus Rukia, it was the Shinigami's job to tear hollows a new hole.
While balancing responsibilities at school, of course. GPA comes first, and maybe a round or two of tech.
But it wouldn't be possible without his Shinigami blade, a Zanpakuto. It's basically a superpowered spirit that's physically a sword. Ghost Sword!
Though strangely, Ichigo's sword is composed of two distinct spirits, both named Zangetsu, which isn't confusing at all.
Just call him Old Man Zangetsu and Hollow Zangetsu.
Yeah,
Anyway,
basically.
The double Ghost Sword gives Ichigo lots of new moves, including his trademark attack, the Sword Beam to end all Sword Beams. Getsuga Tensho!
Getsuga Tensho is
Telling
incredibly
you.
powerful and so effective that Ichigo developed multiple variants.
Yup.
He can fire it as a wave, detonate it mid-attack to act as a barrier, and combine two at once into the even stronger Getsuga Jujisho.
Yeah, when I first seen that, I said,
Biggest
damn.
hollows down to size. Ichigo was ridiculously strong, even from frame 1.
He can make giant shockwaves and parry spiritual light beams from a Menos Grande. And these aren't fake, slower-than-light lasers. Guidebooks confirm they're real light, and the novels say so too.
Plus, early on, Uryu moved so fast that he left his own shadow behind.
But as Ichigo became more involved with the Soul Society, he quickly found that he wasn't good enough.
This Byakuya guy's so fast, Ichigo can't even see him. Time for a good old-fashioned training arc. Hit the music!
Until now, Zangetsu had operated only in its base state, Shikai. So Ichigo learned to release its inner power, a 10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master. Bankai! In Bankai,
Telling you,
his
love that
speed skyrocketed,
Bankai.
letting him turn the tables on douchebag Byakuya. Even in Shikai, he blocked an attack that could destroy the whole frickin' Soul Society.
Because Ichigo's greatest gift is his potential to improve. Despite only being a teenager, he mastered swordsmanship well enough to thrash experts who had been training for centuries. He can quickly adapt to new weapons and styles mid-fight, surpassing his limits time and time again.
Like when he took on Catboy Grimjow. He was getting clamped, but as soon as he heard Orihime cheering him on, that was all he needed to smash that kitty.
You mean Grimjow, right?
Yeah, but even with that main character energy, Ichigo couldn't match Big Bad Aizen.
Nah, yeah. That's just too much for him.
Bankai and his theme song, Rude.
Ichigo needed to tap into his unexplained hollow power. Except
That
Hollow
crazy
Zangetsu
one.
wasn't going to make it easy.
Old Man Zang's pretty chill, but this guy's a menace.
Yeah,
Still,
he crazy.
Ichigo needed his help and conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Masked up, he can fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal lost limbs. But piss him off enough, and he'll go full hollow. And you really don't want that.
Hollowification exceeds even Bankai, and was enough to crush Ukiura in a battle that shook all of Fueco Mundo.
Ooh,
the
I
world
remember
of
watching
hollows.
that.
Full hollow Ichigo could even
That was
tear
different for
through
real.
all 3 layers of hell.
But with help from his secret Shinigami father, Ichigo continued to train for months in the Dangai, a corridor between dimensions, until he was finally ready to challenge Aizen.
Challenge is an understatement. He manhandled Aizen, shattered mountains with sheer aura, and flexed so hard he smashed out of the black coffin, which crushes space like a mini black hole.
And yet, it still wasn't enough. So by becoming Getsuga itself, Ichigo unleashed his ultimate attack, Mugetsu, defeating Aizen at the cost of all his power.
He might have saved everyone, but now it was back to Normieville.
Ichigo never truly realized until then just how much being a Shinigami meant to him. The power to protect others, his drive, his pride in himself was gone. He would give anything to get it back.
And he did, thanks to a surprise assist from Rukia. Boom! Shinigami again!
Just in time for a 1,000-year blood war with
Yep.
the final endgame boss, Yuhabak.
Who
Yeah,
planned
Yuhabak,
to
that's
end
his name.
everything. And
That's
while
where I'm
other
at right
Shinigami
now.
tried
I
their
need to-
best,
I need to-
only Ichigo was
I need to
special
finish.
enough to pull it off.
His father was a Shinigami. His mother was a member of the ancient Quincy's and possessed by a hollow. Hence, his 2 Zanbakuto spirits, one Quincy, the other Hollow and Shinigami, made Ichigo a perfect union to break Yuhabak's plan. Finally, Ichigo understood himself, fully unifying with both Zanbakuto spirits within. With that came a new Shikai and 2 new Zanbakuto.
True Shikai! If you thought Ichigo was strong before, oh boy, he's the strongest Shinigami alive. They're dead. Undead? Yeah.
Stronger than Kenpachi, who can
Yep.
split the Dangai in half. Stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across the realms. And strong enough to match Yuhabak, even after he absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced up with Soul King power, Yuhabak could nuke all 3 realms.
I'm
The
low-key
human
getting
world,
spoiled right now 'cause I need to
Soul
finish,
Society,
bro.
and Mundo,
I shouldn't be
plus the
watching this,
Dangai
but hey,
and
it's
Gargate
whatever.
between, which have a bunch of pocket dimensions sprinkled in. Hell, just the Soul King's corpse sent a shockwave across all the realms.
Ooh.
And it's not a matter of disrupting the flow
Oh
of
my god,
souls.
his face.
Yuhabak was going to end everything through sheer power alone.
But Ichigo still wasn't done powering up.
Entering a new
Animation is so clean. Look at that. Oh my god.
Mighty hollow attack, the Grand Ray Sero.
Making a giant crescent slash that ripped through space itself.
All that power culminating in his true Bankai. A power so great, even Yuhabak was scared of it.
Joke's on you! Ichigo didn't even need it! You're done!
Ichigo was finally content. And 10 years later, he remains a Shinigami, having found the courage to stand on the edge of life and death, conquer his fears, and walk onward. Most teenagers have no idea what they want to do with their life. However, that was hardly a problem for juvenile delinquent Yusuke Urameshi, because he only ever wanted to do one thing.
Throw hands! It don't matter
His
who
backstory is
the
low-key
outs are,
messed up,
be
I'm
they
not gonna
women,
lie.
Old folk or babies, Yusuke lived to fight. It's what gave life meaning. Who cares about stupid things like friends and family?
Which is why it was so surprising when one day he threw himself in front of a speeding car to save a child, bringing that reckless life to a screeching halt.
Truck-kun claims another victim.
But this is chapter 1 of a battle shonen, so death is hardly the end.
Surprisingly though, it wasn't a spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul. It was a blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
This was Botan, whose job was to ferry Yusuke's newly deceased spirit off to the afterlife.
Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for him, he was such an asshole that the underworld didn't see his selfless death coming and didn't have any space prepared for him. Imagine being such a menace to society that the second you do something nice, hell itself gets caught with his pants down.
So the underworld surrogate king, Koenma, offered Yusuke an alternative. He could return to life as an agent of the afterlife, a spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
Naturally, Yusuke did what anyone would do in that situation, then told Satan Jr. to stuff it! I mean, he was never really good for anything and no one was gonna miss him, so what's the point of coming back to life? It's not like his mom would be sad, or his childhood sweetheart Keiko would be heartbroken, or even his rival Kuwabara would shed badly tears. Oh man!
At the sight of loved ones who cared far more than he ever expected, Yusuke had a change of heart and accepted Koenma's offer, returning to life with a new purpose and a new job.
And newfound ass-kicking ability. In his quest to beat the dog shit out of demonkind, Yusuke learned to harness Reiki, or spirit energy. He's ridiculously strong, fast, and durable, heals from wounds quickly, and can see spirits invisible to mortal men.
Even early on, Yusuke could parry Suzaku's lightning arrows, which are formed from real lightning called down from the sky. And with the help of legendary warrior Genkai, he mastered a signature move that could blast anyone to smithereens.
My favorite shonen move ever,
Misery
the
gun.
Spirit Gun. At first, Yusuke
He has
had
different
limited number
forms,
of
too.
shots, but eventually he turned it into his personal WMD. Stronger than any weapon on Earth, he could go finger blasting around as much as he wants.
The spirit gun is more versatile than it appears. Yusuke can bounce it off surfaces for sneak attacks, propel himself around like a rocket in flight, and produce massive explosions with each shot.
He can twist it up for a spirit shotgun, a mighty AoE blast, or a spirit punch where he keeps the energy stored in his fists and clovers the hell out of you. And the spirit wave, a Kamehameha from before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
But he's deceptively
We
skilled
uncultured
in
American.
battle.
He's not afraid to fight dirty, throwing his shoes, using sleight of hand to place cigarettes on his foe to track them in the dark.
Personally, I'd call that smart. And
Yeah.
his hand-to-hand is A+. He's matched experts like Cabana, who's said to have mastered all forms of martial combat.
But his best secret is how quickly he improves. All it takes is a round of training or someone threatening his friends, and Yusuke's power will spike to match stronger enemies, even if it means literally burning through his own life force for a power-up.
All known demons and demon fighters are individually ranked on a scale of power from E to S.
E and D class demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at best. C and B are getting a bit dicey in a destroy your city kind of way. A and S? Well, hold on to your ass. We're talking end of the world.
As Yusuke forged bonds with new allies, like demons Hiei and Kurama, as well as his old pal Kuwabara, he found himself facing opponents he couldn't beat, such as the monstrous Toguro, who could vaporize weaker demons and crush their souls with sheer aura.
But Yusuke needed to survive and protect his loved ones, so he had no choice but to rank up, even if it meant absorbing the power of a small star. Thanks, Genkai!
Our sun has an average luminosity of 380 septillion watts, or joules per second. Small stars like red dwarfs output about 1/10,000th of that. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
Enough to send Taguro to the grave.
Even after pushing past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to face S-class threats like Sensui, a past spirit detective gone bad, and a great measuring stick for what top-tier demons are capable of.
Sensui was so yoked he couldn't even use all his power in the human world without threatening to bring down the whole thing. He compared destroying the whole goddamn planet to kicking an anthill.
According to Genkai,
Wow.
Yusuke could destroy the planet too, if he really wanted. And even A-class threats like King Enma have shaken both the demon and human worlds.
That anima guy is strong as balls. In the past, he fought the Netherworld King Yakumo, who could eradicate the entire human world and remake the Netherworld.
But Yusuke's power surpassed both of them, to the point where he overloaded Yakumo with his own energy. And do keep in mind, Yusuke was still only A-class at the time, a far cry from S-classes like Sensui, whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long, sucker, cause turns out, Yusuke was a demon himself.
Literally. Yusuke is the descendant of an ancient and incredibly powerful being, one of the strongest in existence, Ryzen, the Demon King.
With his Mazoku mark, Yusuke can channel Ryzen's spirit for a huge power boost and a massive thirst for murder boost. This was his first taste of a dangerous new type of spirit energy, Yoki.
A form of energy used by demons. Like normal Reiki, it can be amplified by intense emotions. Unlike normal Reiki, its use creates a pleasurable feeling, feeding into the user's rage and bloodlust, the feral animal within.
So Yusuke upgraded his spirit
Beast
gun to a
from Dragon
demon
Ball.
gun. It's the same thing, but red. Oh, and it's strong enough to blast Sensui past the horizon, putting Yusuke's power firmly in S-class.
And making him a prime candidate to rule the demon world. But as he was thrust into a tournament vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder if all this power was what he really wanted.
Self-reflection? From "I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi"? Nah, we can worry about that later. There's a tournament to win. Which one of you, girl, baby, or grandparents is first?
Even then, as Yusuke took on the Demon King Yomi in an epic final battle, he was still growing. He had become far stronger than before, even achieving a unique version of the Mazoku form separate from Ryzen's influence.
And a brand spanking new form of power. Kinda like Sensui's secret energy, but even better. It's so unprecedented, it doesn't even have a name, but it's golden glowy.
Strong enough to clash with Yomi, creating an explosion that split the heavens above and decimated the Okunin tree below, pushing the Demon King himself to his absolute limits.
But then, Yusuke lost. It's not all bad though. Even if being king would have been cool, Yusuke realized he wanted something more. He'd grown up and chose to walk a new path.
It was always Yusuke's connections with others that motivated him above all else. And it was in those connections that he found his happy ending.
But I wouldn't piss him off if you can avoid it. Get him in the right mood or threaten the human world, and the spirit detective will beat your stupid ass.
Okay, so now that I know what Yusuke's rolling with, and I already kind of knew majority of the stuff for Ichigo. I mean, it wasn't nothing new to me. Ooh, I'm gonna. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I might say Yusuke might win, but then again, it did say he could use up all his life force. So I might stick with Ichigo, because if Yusuke uses up all his life force, then he might be cooked. So I don't know. Let's just see what happens. I'm actually really excited to see this. So I got my money on Ichigo. Let's see what happens, y'all.
Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
I forgot both of them were in Jump Force. I forgot about that. They were low-key in Jump Force. Let's get it. Perfect animation for this fight too. The little sprite animation, yeah, that's the perfect one.
That's a demon.
That's a hollow.
No doubt about it.
But then again, Ichigo's like, his physical body's still there, so I don't know. I can see how this works out. I ain't gonna lie, Ichigo, you ain't gonna win that hand to hand, bro. Wait, at his dick? Nah, that's so messed up.
Chump change.
Reckless idiot!
What a baby! Little demon energy got you scared.
That do look like Kaioken though.
Getsuga! Yusuke!
Two at once? Damn, why didn't I think of that?
He said, why did I think of that?
Into Yusuke. Let's devour him together. Hell no! This is my fight, jackass! You just told me back!
Ooh. Giving that Broly treatment.
Yeesh, rude awakening. This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner?
Let's do it. Like old times. On time! Tensa!
Nah, this animation is so clean.
Is that the best you can do? I can go even faster if you like.
Hell yeah! Bring it on, asshole!
Ooh,
I'll
it
kill
goes,
you even if it kills me!
it going crazy.
You better do the same!
Screw that!
Whoa, did he cut through him?
Give me a freaking break.
Oh, he still got that demon power though.
See you on the other side.
KO!
Wait, that's it?
You think the afterlife offers frequent flyer miles?
There's a lot to cover here, so let's break this down into 4 chapters, starting with their abilities.
Yusuke could see Ichigo no problem, and resist auras like Togoro's that are similar to Reiatsu, so Ichigo couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise, Yusuke was outmatched. Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however,
I guess his hair
had
didn't
more
need to turn
varied
white for him to
powers,
be it,
a
so
better healing
what he was in
factor,
was that
understanding
same
his
form.
onset
Alright,
online
never mind.
training.
And all
I thought his hair was gonna turn white.
He just had way more abilities to play with.
Likewise, speed was a fairly easy call. Yusuke could react to lightning early on, and obviously got much faster over time. Looking at this blast from his clash with Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
But Ichigo was faster than light from the start, and he's gotten faster too. He couldn't even see Byakuya at first, but blitzed him in the rematch. Plus, he's got tons of training and power-ups since then.
The Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms at thousands of times light speed, and Ichigo reacted to attacks from Soul King Yuhabak that utilized the same power. So, Ichigo takes speed. But Yusuke's fought plenty of foes faster and more varied than him, so it's extremely important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt mid-fight.
This is kinda both their things. Ichigo has styled on guys with centuries of training and has over a decade of experience as a Shinigami. He's pretty good at figuring out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional hand-to-hand. He's good enough to match Kabano, who mastered every martial art. Ichigo's decent at hand-to-hand, but it's not his go-to in the same way.
So, both both had their strong suits, with advantages on each side. It's
Okay.
fair to call this one a
A
draw.
tie.
Leaving only the biggest winning factor, which could have superseded all other advantages: power.
Between Sensui, Genkai, and Enma, Yusuke could definitely destroy the planet. Examining his sky-splitting clash with Yomi and measuring in scale, that's about 4 quadrillion megatons of TNT, which is crazy.
Similarly, mid-series Ichigo could shake Huecomundo, tear through hell, and block attacks that could destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Yhwach, who could destroy several realms, which is far more impressive than just one.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yusuke
yeah.
also
Several
beat
realms is
Yakumo,
crazy.
Who could threaten 2 realms at the same time, pretty close to Yhwach's threatening 3.
And Yusuke far surpassed Yakumo afterward. The gap between him and Sensui alone was 10 times. So there could be an argument for Yusuke's power surpassing Ichigo if 3 realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Fortunately for Ichigo, it's not. Yhwach was also gonna destroy the Garganta, which has at least 29 pocket dimensions inside it.
Each containing at least a planet and star, much larger than Yusuke's planet-sized worlds. Plus, Ichigo matched Yhwach in True Shikai, without his additional boost from Half Hollow and True Bankai.
As always with Death Battle, there's arguments either way, but the way we see it, even being generous with Yusuke's power and conservative with Ichigo's, the gap was just too big.
Yeah,
Giving
okay.
Ichigo
Yeah.
the final edge.
Dominated.
Sorry if
I
things
said it was
got
gonna be
real
Ichigo.
messy, but that's
I
just
said it.
how Ichigo's.
The winner is Ichigo Kurosaki.
Expected.
Next time on Death
Who we
Battle.
got next? Metal Sonic. Sail.
Subscribe and join as a
Yes,
member to
sir.
see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
Alright, y'all, that's the end of the video. I mean, I already kind of figured Ichigo was gonna win. I mean, if you watch them and like watch both the animes and then you just go off of what they, Death Battle itself just explain about each of them, their powers and everything, it was kind of already self-explanatory that like Ichigo was gonna win. I figured that from the start. But hey, Cell versus Metal Sonic. Ooh, man. I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now. See, if it was, I'll say this right now, right? And I'll just leave it there. I'll just say it right now, leave it there. If Cell Max was completed fully to like perfect Cell Max, then I probably would say he win. But I don't know, bruh. I just don't see. Even if we use Cell from Dragon Ball, Super Dragon Ball Heroes and all that, it's like, I mean, we could, and the power scale in Super Dragon Ball Heroes it's out of pocket. Like when I say it's out of pocket, it is way out of the universe pocket. So I don't know. I got to see how they go with that. But hey, that's the end of the video. I really enjoyed this. I knew Ichigo was gonna win. He's part. You see why he's part of the big 3. You know what I'm saying? The big 3 don't fall. But hey, end of the video. Appreciate y'all for watching this. Leave a like, comment, and most definitely subscribe. And please share with a friend and family. AyoStiff. With that being said, y'all take it easy, and I'm gonna catch y'all later.